Well, I think that's pretty much what the progression of the game's going to be like, huh? Just gets more and more nuts.
Yeah, from here it's pretty much an uphill climb of Insanity Mountain.
Oh boy, let's ride this roller coaster then.
Although I gotta warn you, this particular level, kinda boring.
Well, glad you got me on for this part then.
Yeah, everyone say hi to Blonde Guy Gamer.
And it's not like the rest, and it's not like this game hasn't been boring to begin with anyway.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Anyway, you ready?
Yep.
Three, two, one, play. So this is the map of this area.
Oh, that's a lot of lines.
Yeah, it's basically a giant maze of caverns, and that arrow is actually where the finish is. We actually start all the way
Oh.
at the lower right.
It almost looks like you want to take like the Wiimote and just like draw the line with your, but no, you can't do that, obviously.
God, now you make me want to play Okami instead of this.
Oh, I actually played through Okami on the PS2 a while ago. Good game, unlike this.
Yeah, we're actually going to go ahead and equip the machete for this level, because it's actually stronger than most of the other things we have so far.
And it can chop thick ivy too.
Yeah, because we're going to do that within the next 4 levels.
Great.
But this is another one of those levels where most of the time you're not going to be able to see shit because you're supposed to go through with the light off. But first...
Yeah, well,
This is our new enemy,
uh, yeah, it has a very particular face.
and we're just going to hit it with a
I,
rock to stun it, and then whack it with a machete until it dies.
oh, so just like with most enemies you deal with.
Pretty much. But these are called canine men.
Oh, so we went from lizard women to canine men.
Yeah, and both of them are in this level.
Oh,
As
yeah,
we're...
so,
Actually, I think there's like 4 enemies in this level. There's canine men, lizard women, and spiders. And then if you
Tasty
count
island
the
cuisine.
shroud of insects, then that's another one too.
yay, healing
By the way, this
items.
demonstrates 2 things. One, that the light goes through walls, and 2, that you can spam the danger noise.
uh,
Because what's
that's
actually
great
happening is
programming.
there's not an enemy like within this immediate vicinity. It's on the other side of the wall in an adjacent cavern, and we're somehow aggroing it through the wall.
Uh, where were you throwing rocks at?
The spiders in the distance.
Oh, hey, so then that's kind of like bugs.
Yeah, if you
Even
don't
those,
count the insect shrouds, there's basically almost no bugs in this. There are flies, I forgot about those.
yeah.
But if you have rocks, you can basically just throw them at these spiders, and there's like an invisible line that if you cross it, the spiders will start coming after you, but if you stay behind it, they won't do anything.
Right.
And that actually holds true for almost all the enemies in this area. So on the one
Yeah,
hand, it's kind of
just
difficult, on the other hand, not really.
this should have just been called Chuck Rock Island, because that's all you do most of the time. You just chuck rocks at enemies.
Sticks and rocks the game.
Yeah.
This is one of the things that's actually kind of difficult if you don't know about it, which is there's a canine man in this big open room, but if you try going into it to attack it, a bunch of flies are going to buzz around your face, and you'll be too busy trying to swat them away to be able to attack it. So what you do is you just throw a rock at it, you'll get its attention, it'll charge at you, stop for the danger noise, and then charge at you again, and then you can kill it.
I
Also,
guess the.
for some reason,
Sorry,
the
go
game
ahead.
like lags a little at times when
Hmm.
I'm in combat, and I have no idea why it does that.
Clearly, it can't handle the canine men. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. And in most of these big ass rooms, there's usually like a pile of crap in the middle that if you check it, you'll find an item.
You can even see it. Sheesh. Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Sandbags.
Sandbags are all over this level. Because the
For the
idea is
lizard
you're
women,
supposed to use
right?
them to stun the enemies, but rocks work just as well, so...
Yeah,
I wonder
you
if
demonstrated
this
that
will kill
earlier
me.
in the last part.
And there's one big reason I would keep the light off is that anytime you go into a dead end like that, the shroud will appear, and it'll literally chase you across a quarter of the level.
The shroud?
Yeah, it is incredibly persistent in this stage.
The shroud is just like a swarm that kills you, right?
Yeah. Except,
Okay, yeah, just...
after the last level, it's not instant death anymore.
Of course, the lizard women have to do the sexy walk towards you because, yeah,
Well, sashaying is being part of a lizard.
I suppose. I love this dark, featureless cave, by the way. Did you have fun trying to go through it?
Well, it's easier with the mini-map and the map feature, but on the other hand, I'm convinced they just did this so they could only have to use like 2 textures for the entire level.
Yeah. Because maze levels are always fun in video games.
Especially when they're this long. I think this took me like half an hour to completely cover.
Yeah. And even when you edit it down, it's still like, what, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Hope you like caves, people.
This is pretty much the only thing you're gonna see.
Which is not much because most of the time you have your light off anyway.
Yeah, you have... We should just call this rocks and blobs. Because that's all you're gonna see. By the way, speaking of rocks, you actually do want to like save what rocks you have, so that you can throw them at the spiders and use them to stun the canine men. So it's kind of important to actually go in with a decent amount of rocks into this stage.
So even though you can get like 99 of them, you still want to conserve your rocks?
For this one stage. Because there are no rock piles anywhere in this level.
Okay, you would think that being in a cave you would find rocks.
Yeah,
but...
know, yeah. The one place
then
where you are surrounded by rock and there's no rock piles.
Well, you said earlier the cave is just 2 textures. Maybe it's just a cave of textures and that's it. There's nothing else to it.
So are you saying that the enemies in this stage just got lost in the textures?
Maybe. Or they're just programmed there. What do I know about video games?
Well, clearly I do not know as much as... Who was it? Spike made this game, right?
Yeah. Certainly looks like a Dreamcast game that they just ported over to the Wii, but...
I really wish I could confirm whether that's what they actually did.
Well, I'm not saying that would be actually the case, but you never know. Well, I just say that because, you know, Illbleed looks a lot better than this, and that came out like in 2001.
Yet another game I'd rather be playing.
Well, I could list up a whole bunch. Eternal Darkness. Hell,
Speaking of Eternal Darkness.
Yeah. Actually, when I was playing Evil Dead Hail, or not Hail, Fistful of Boomstick, there was some parts that was really dark, and I want to say it's not as bad as this, but well, at least in this you had a map, so a mini map.
Yeah, as much as people slam this game for being pseudo unplayable, there's actually a lot of stuff that really helps you get through it. Like, I think anyone that's giving this game a 1 out of 10 is just really over-exaggerating, but at the same time, there's no way I would rate this higher than like a 5 out of 10.
Oh no.
Absolutely not.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely doesn't look like the worst game ever, but it's definitely one of those like really budget Wii games that are just not very good, despite the, I guess you could say, ambition?
I guess? This is another one of those rooms where you have to lure it out, otherwise you're gonna get swarmed by flies. And we cleared a bonus.
Oh goody. We killed women. Lizard women, anyway.
The bonuses in this level are actually pretty easy. There's kill 5 lizard women, there's kill 5 canine men, and the last one is find a roll of barbed wire.
What?
Yeah, somewhere in this cavern is a roll of barbed wire. And I'll just leave that there. I don't want to spoil what you actually do with it.
Okay, is it just like an item you pick up?
It works in conjunction with something else you have. But right now, let's look at our 108 healing items.
Woohoo! We reached 100!
And it's going to
I-
continue climbing.
Oh boy,
I've already
great.
recorded the next part, and it does continue to go up.
I like how your like the key items, like the keys and stuff, are in the same item menu as your food. It almost looks like you're able to eat the keys, but I guess you don't.
Yeah, Zero mentioned that earlier. He was like, "Can you eat the keys in the lighter?" No.
Yeah, and you would think that after using the keys like once, you wouldn't need them again.
And
But I guess the
that they'd be
I guess
like-
the developers of this didn't play Resident Evil. Oh look, we can actually see something.
I think maybe they played part of Resident Evil.
For
Like-
what, the spiders?
Like, they found a couple of the keys and the key items, but then they just sort of stopped before they actually used them.
Ah. So they're like, hey, this game has keys. We can have keys too.
Yeah, if you back up as the spiders charge at you, you can just run up and hit them again before they can turn around and attack you. And I'm gonna do it with these too. The attention span on these things.
Anyway, with the fish, you could probably understand the shortest attention span, but or short memory, because goldfish.
Fish were in the first level. We're way past that.
Yeah, I know. You even encounter the fish again in this game?
Actually, you do a lap around the island, so we're gonna go through that same area again.
Oh, of course, because just reuse the levels for your level design, right?
Yeah, if you don't count the areas that you go through twice, there's maybe 12 areas in this game. 13 maybe.
Well, then again, this is an island area, I guess you could say. So.
Yeah, I don't. This was
What happened to your nunchuck?
I don't know. In the middle of attacking the lizard woman, for some reason I was permanently stuck running forward, and I had to disconnect the nunchuck.
Okay, then. Is that a bug or?
I
Well,
don't know,
no
but
pun
that's the
intended.
only time it's happened to me in a Wii game.
Yeah, no pun intended. But by the way, but yeah, for the bug part. I love the stock panting sound for the dogmen.
I love the sound when they run forward. It's like someone slamming a bunch of rocks into mud.
Yeah, well, there is no bud in this cave because remember, it's just textures.
And mushrooms.
Well, of course, you still have to have health items in this cave because we have over 100 of them.
I will say, like, if you don't know, like, all the little quirks about this level, you might lose half your health. Especially on the insect shrouds. Those things will just drain you.
Yeah, literally drain your health, and
Yeah.
not just drain you mentally. Although this game would probably drain you mentally just by playing it.
Yeah, it's why I have to play this in such quick bursts, and then immediately go play something else.
Yeah. Oh man, what do we have here? Oh yeah, lizard woman.
Yeah, I decided to be courteous and actually turn the light on so you could see it.
Yeah, then just throw sand at her face because that just works. Does the sandbag work on anything else?
It works on the
enemies?
giant gorilla too,
Oh, of course.
and it actually stuns it longer than if you just throw a rock at it. Ah, jeez. Flies.
Ray, use sand attack. It's super effective.
What is that super effective against?
Well, I just threw that out there as a joke. I think the sand attack or blast or whatever it was in Pokemon is just something that lowers the other Pokemon's accuracy. I can't believe I'm talking about Pokemon instead of this, but that's pretty much what we've.
That's the magic of Escape from Bug Island.
Yeah, reminds you of better games.
It's not just you. I mean, Unreal has said that, I think Zero has said that.
Yeah, it's a pretty common thing among all of us. It's like,
Yes.
yeah. Oh, we got the K9 men. So
Oh.
wait a minute. If there were canine women, would they still be counted as bitches?
Boo.
Yeah, I know, bad joke. Well, then again, I guess the women is just for the lizards. Yeah, there's just lizard women and just lizard.
Well, then if you have lizard
Just
men, then
canine.
Spider-Man's got to get involved.
Oh.
Oh, we found the barbed wire. Now here's what we do with it. We
It
wrap
looks
the
like-
bat with it,
Okay.
and now it's like an ECW match. We've got a barbed
Oh,
wire
nice.
bat.
I was about to say that bunch of barbed wire looked like a bird nest.
When I first found it on the ground, I thought it was a drain pipe. I didn't realize it was an item.
Why would there be a drain pipe in a cave?
Because I've played the rest of this and I question everything now. That wouldn't be the most nonsensical thing in this game.
Well, considering what you said, that this game gets even crazier later on, I guess I wouldn't blame you for questioning everything.
Alright, I swear
Yeah.
we have covered at least half of this cave now.
Yeah, half the cave that looks exactly the same. And
What's
A
the
mushroom.
expiration date on this? Now, if I could just find a napkin.
how many mushrooms are there in that area?
There were 3 of them. And I
Damn.
thought there was something on the ground, but...
Go back, Jack, do it again. We'll turn it round and round. You go back, Jack, do it again.
A lot of things are better than this game.
But yeah, I think we've covered almost 3/4 of the cave now. We're almost out of here.
Oh, goody. Then we can go on to more thrills and stuff.
And here's a canine man walking into a pillar.
Well, considering how dark the cave is, I imagine the enemies would have a hard time figuring out where to go to.
Yeah, this one I actually screwed up, and if you don't do
Ooh.
the rock stun move on these, they're actually really hard to deal with. Because they have a low recovery time after missing an attack, and they can pounce on you and put you on the ground and take away maybe 1/5 of your health. So
Ooh.
they are actually a decent threat. Assuming that you don't do this thing I'm about to do. Which
And
I've
if you
done
don't-
to like the past 5 or 6 of these.
And if you don't have like 100 healing items.
Yeah, I still haven't actually used a healing item in this level yet.
Well, yeah, you've only taken a hit like just now, and it only took off like a little bit of health.
Yeah, and that health's gonna regenerate by the time I'm out of here.
Oh, goody. Because the only thing that makes this game even easier is if you had a regenerating health factor.
Yeah, and there's actually a pennant you can find later that regenerates your health even faster.
I'm not going to question how that works, but okay.
Well, the reason we're getting the purple fragments is because there are secret areas you can access later on that were previously blocked off in certain levels. And you can go into them and find, like, certain extra items that boost certain things about you.
I see.
Or just extra weapons, whatever.
Yeah, extra weapons that do mostly the same. Ooh. Or maybe there are different weapons that do different things. I don't know.
Oddly enough, I did find a difference between, like, blunt weapons and slashing weapons in this.
Even though you can do the stab motion with any weapon.
Yeah, I find that with the blunt weapons, it's harder to do the exploit where you do the fast finisher before the enemies fall into the ground. That's why I usually stick with slashing weapons in this.
So at least a little bit of effort went into programming the weapons, I guess.
I think that was mostly accident.
And just do the same motion to get rid of flies.
This was actually kind of pointless for me to pick up because I already had 20 ant bombs, and that's the max you
Oh.
can carry.
Go back, Jack, do it again. We'll turn it round and round. You go back, Jack.
Well, I had to do something to make that bearable.
Yeah. Although you're already repeating your the music montage bits, but
It's a one-time thing.
well,
One
as
video
I was
thing, I
saying,
mean. I mean, I've done it
Yeah,
twice.
as I was saying before that sped up part, so you can carry a maximum of can only carry a maximum of 20 ant bombs, but you can carry infinite health items.
Yeah, you can carry infinite health items, 99 rocks. I still haven't discovered the limit for sandbags yet.
Tasty island cuisine.
Oh, speaking of health,
Oh boy, more Popeye spinach.
and our health is completely regenerated.
Oh, good.
Just in time for another one of these halls with spiders in it.
Oh,
Yeah, see
goody.
how close we are and we're not, like, catching their attention at all, even though we're waving the flashlight all over the place?
maybe they just have poor eyesight.
In every single one of their eyes.
Yes.
We're literally just going to stand here and take out all of them with rocks.
Because it doesn't seem like they're doing anything anyway. They're just sort of just milling around, like,
Well, that's what spiders do in their free time, is walk in circles.
And what is that sound? Is that another enemy hitting the wall? Or just a canine man?
That's a canine.
Okay.
I know it's really dark. This is actually something I forgot to get before.
Oh? Is it another healing item?
Yes.
Gee, why am I not surprised?
Well, actually,
What's the expiration
there's
date
this
on
mushroom, and then there's this mushroom, and then there's this box on the ground. Guess what's in it?
Another mushroom?
No.
A fruit?
I've always wanted one of these.
Nope. Sandbag.
I always wanted a sandbag. You could use it to weigh shit.
But, we're done with the cave now.
Oh, good. Watching this just made me want to play the actual cave game that came out recently, The Cave, instead of this.
Oh, yeah. I haven't really looked into that. How is that?
It's made by the same guy who did Monkey Island and Maniac Mansion, so you probably would want to check that out.
Oh, I might actually do
Yeah.
that.
And it's made by Double Fine, who did Psychonauts and,
What a
and,
great way to end Escape from Bug Island, by talking about other things.
Yeah, talking about a better game called The Cave.